Today we're going to be ranking the top 4 players in every position, kind of like a start, sub, sell, discard, if you will. And to clarify in advance, when I say top 4, I mean as in last season's top 4 in the league. So Liverpool, Arsenal, City and Chelsea players. We're going to go from goalkeeper to right back, right centre back, left centre back, etc, etc, all the way to the front 3. And then we'll count, I guess, who got the most points, if you will. So if you're first, that's 4 points, second is 3, third is 2, and 4th place for whatever position is going to be 1 point. We add them up at the end and see, I guess, who has the most well-balanced 11, if you will. Without further ado, enough yapping. Let's tuck into the goalkeepers because, let's be honest, nobody cares about goalkeepers. This one, pretty easy, I can't lie to you. Alisson, number 1. I keep on saying it. He's fighting his case to be number 1 all-time Prem keeper, let alone, you know, currently playing. But obviously, we have to respect Mr. Petr Cech. In second, I'm going Donnarumma already. I know, bit of a bold one, but again, I'm basing it. That's another thing. Let's clarify as well. It's on like the last year of performances, if you will. And I'm not going to include injuries or whatever. So in the last year, Donnarumma, albeit not at City, had an incredible year. Obviously won hella trophies and was a big part of the Champions League for PSG as well. So he'll be second. David Raya, big up the Golden Glove again. You'll be third. And Robert Sanchez in 4th. That guy, to be honest with you, sometimes he feels like he can be an all-timer keeper. And other times, I said it, it's like the ice cream van is outside. He just gets brain freeze, bro. He just starts bugging out. So that's my ranking for the goalkeepers. On to the right backs. Again, if I'm speaking about the last year or so, then I would have to start with Timber. Because as good as Reece James is, and I think Reece James is sometimes underrated, but then again, other people, I guess, overrate him. I just think he's really, really good when he can have like an entire year. And this was maybe his first season where he finally had like a good stretch of, you know, good health, if you will. But Timber, obviously, the entire season, the consistency, doing it in the league and the Champions League as well, like on the biggest of stages against the biggest of teams. I think I go Timber 1, Reece James 2, Frimpong 3, just purely because Matheus Nunes is just not a right back. I don't know how they've gone into yet another season starting Nunes at right back. So I think for now, that's what I'm going to go with. I feel like Timber and James, I can hear debates for either of them, but if I'm just going off like how high the level they reached last year was, I still feel like Reece James kind of had the handbrake a little bit. You know, he wasn't in like 6th gear, if you will. He didn't have the Need for Speed Underground turbo on just yet, because obviously, again, he's getting back to, I guess, playing more minutes, and he's still rotating with gusto here and there. So I think I'm alright with the right backs for now. That's going to be my list. Again, feel free in the comments to disagree with me. Let me know your points. Respectfully, though. Don't just shout at me and call me whatever you want. Right centre-back. The options we have Konate, Saliba, Ruben Diaz. And I've gone with Chalobah. I'll be honest, when it comes to Chelsea centre-backs, I don't really know like who you man decide is your best one, because it changes like every 2 months. Whoever's injured is like the one that's beast, if you will. So on this one, based on the last year, I've got to go Saliba 1, Konate 2, Ruben Diaz is going to be 3 for me. You know what it is with Ruben Diaz? Like, I don't know if you lot agree with me. I feel like he's still living off the fact that he was like 89 rated on FIFA or EAFC like 2-3 years ago. He's been declining for a while, but I would say he still can claim a little 3rd place, and I will put Chalobah 4th for now. Again, this is not about where they're going to be this season or in 5 years or their career or whatever. Just on the last season, what are we ranking? And Konate is a strange one. Like in the last year or so, Konate has had some super highs and then some really, I guess, big lows. Obviously, this season so far, he had a great game against Arsenal actually, but prior to that, it was not very good. And then for France, I always thought it should be Konate and Saliba playing. They quickly realized that Konate is probably the one that has to get dropped because Upamecano has to play. So it's been Upamecano and Saliba. I don't know what's going to happen from now onwards. Again, we'll see. But for the time being, I'm going to go like Saliba and Konate like are there, 51-49. And then it's like Ruben Diaz and then Chalobah. But again, you're more than welcome to disagree if you feel so way inclined. Next up, we're going to go to left centre-back. This one should be much easier. I think we all know where I'm going with this one. Oh, what was that? Oh, I know what that was. That was your alert to check that you subscribed and that you've liked the video. I got a little soundboard now, yeah? Hey, it didn't work. Hold on. Give me time to like get used to it, innit? But I've got the soundboard there going now, so let me know what sounds I can add on that. But like I said, Keep the subscriptions coming. We're on the road to 40k right now. When we hit that 40, we can start thinking about the big goal of 100 at the end of the season. So look down. In fact, get us to 38 for today. I want to wake up tomorrow and I see 38.0k subscribers. But anyway, let's continue. That's my little flex there. To be honest with you, this one, it's in order already. Van Dijk won, I think, last season. He's really back to his best. No, not back to his best, but like back to the best in the world. Still not his levels of, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, but like ridiculous levels being shown. Gabriel, I think, to be honest with you, really unlucky that Van Dijk is just there, because Gabriel could have easily been first, especially we factor in obviously he was injured for the last 2-3 months or whatever, so he didn't get to, I guess, demonstrate that new level of consistency this last couple of years. And again, I would argue this may be, John Terry would be one in terms of like what I'm about to say here, but Gabriel is very quickly becoming one of the most fearsome and inevitable set piece converters we've ever seen, if you will. This guy, the ball will be whipped in and he'll jump like that. You don't even know how he's jumping. He'll fly on someone's back and next thing you know, the ball's in the back of your net. I've gone Gvardiol when he plays left centre back. I put him in for, like, again, he had an alright season, but City defensively were not very good. Levi Colwill, to be fair, if it was on the last 3 or 4 months, he would have overtaken him, because Colwill, to his, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. To his credit, let's say, he has definitely improved in the second half of the season. But I still cannot forget the first like half or whatever, where again he's making mistakes and then he's doing like that. You know that scream, the scream painting. He's doing that as if we don't have the cameras, bro. He's asking for VAR. We seen you, bro. You made that foul. So that's gonna be my left centre back. We go next to the left backs. This is where a lot of people are going to start shouting and yelling and being really angry, because I feel as though it's a matter of how you perceive these things, right? And not using recency, but then accounting for everything. I'm gonna tell you now, I've gone Kirk as number 1. I know he's had a terrible start to this season, and then he was alright against Arsenal. First couple games, don't get me wrong, absolutely shaky. Like, I completely agree with you. I just feel as though the consistency and the level he showed for Bournemouth last season, albeit I know it's Bournemouth, is enough to get him first for now. And again, this is not saying that he's better than all these guys overall or will be better by the end of the season. It's just he did get, Prem Team of the Season, so you kind of have to go with Milos Kerkez for now. And the second one is where it's a coin flip, because I know there's going to be many people that, again, they start yelling and they start knocking on the computer to try and break in and come and attack me, because they're going to say that Cucurella should go next. I've actually gone with Lewis Skelly next up. I've put Lewis Skelly second. I feel as though not only the Premier League consistency, but the Champions League nights as well. That is where I think it just about separates. I don't think there's like a lot in it. And again, I'm not saying this will be who's better next year or 5 years or whatever the case may be. But what I saw from Lewis Skelly against Real Madrid in the Champions League, by the way, I think that just about eclipses it. With Cucurella, many people say that people like just hate on Cucurella for whatever reason, blah blah blah. I always say I think he's improved massively since the Euros, for sure, and a lot more consistent. I do believe he gets away with a lot of fouls, and oftentimes when he plays a winger that maybe is let's say a good winger, if you, I was gonna say better than him, but obviously it's a winger versus a fullback, but you get my point. When he's playing like a good or a competent winger, he often resorts to just elbowing guys in the back or just shoving them in the back and then like getting away with it because of however he is. So I'm not saying that he's bad or he's meaty. I just think he does seem to get away with that a little bit too much for me, but he's still, again, it's not like a massive gap there. I think there is quite a gap to fourth though in Ait-Nouri, and again, this is one where it's well documented now. I've been making these videos for 45 days in a row. Again, if that ain't worth a subscription, I don't know. You man are watching me every single day. You haven't pressed subscribe yet. It's cool, man. You don't rate my thing. It's cool. But Ait-Nouri's not a left back, guys. He's a winger. He's a winger. Big respect. He's gonna get you goals. He's gonna get not really goals. He's gonna get you assists. He'll contribute going forward. But defensively, put it this way, he's not better defensively than anyone here. Cucurella's better than him 1v1. Lewis Skelly's better than him 1v1, and of course Kerkez is as well. So he has to go number 4. I think that's pretty fair. But again, look, just when we had these conversations, why I like YouTube is that You man are not just, you know, like remember Shrek 1 back in the day? What was it, like 2003? For those of us who remember, the very first scene when they come to Shrek's swamp, yeah, and they bring the pitchforks and then they fire and they try to attack his swamp. On TikTok, that's what they do over there. They just think everything is like rage bait, or they start shouting and yelling. On here, I'd like to think that we can have conversations where I don't think I'm always right, you don't think you're always right. There's no wara bull knowledge or whatever. We just talk normally, and I believe I've been pretty fair for this one. We go now to the DMs. Now, this is why I said we have to like not factor in injuries as like lowered performance, if that makes sense. The options here, in case I got to read them out for you: Gravenberch, Zubimendi, Rodri, and Caicedo. I am going to go Rodri number 1. So allow me to explain what I'm talking about here. When I say the last year non-factoring injuries, I mean like he hasn't played terrible to be demoted from first, right? He won the Ballon d'Or and then had like a season-long injury. So I can't like penalize him and say he's worse than everyone because he didn't play. Does that make sense? I feel like, again, if you are coming to the video with an open mind, you understand what I'm saying there. Rodri's still number 1. For how long? Who knows? And maybe he's not going to recover very well from the ACL. Maybe this season, 1 or 2 may overtake him. But for this one, I feel like we have to give Rodri the flowers and say that he is still number 1 for now. Now, 2 and 3, this is where, again, it's up for grabs. I can hear both. No, I can't lie to you. Caicedo's second. Big respect, Gravenberch, but Caicedo's number 2. I've repeated it many a time. In our Team of the Week videos last season, we did 38 Team of the Weeks. From obviously August until May, and Caicedo was the midfielder from the Premier League that got in the most times. It was him and then Pedri that I guess were in there time and time again. So for that level of consistency, I have to go with him. And I'm also, I guess, gonna add a bit of like, I know many people don't like it, but I'm going to add a bit of Club World Cup as well in there too, because I mean, it's a trophy that they won. You may not respect it, you may not rate it, but they did win the trophy. The Conference League is one that I'm definitely going to like diminish. I'll be honest with you. Like, that is total trash, right? Anything you did there, in my eyes, it's of zero relevance to me, bro. In the Conference League, you're facing teams that nobody's even heard of. But Club World Cup, I feel like it should carry a bit of weight. Again, it's not Champions League, but it should carry some weight. So Caicedo's going to be second for me. Gravenberch, the reason why I initially thought it would be a convo is because if we're looking at the last 12 months, the first half of the season, Gravenberch was cooking, bro. As the 6, slot unlocked a guy that many people had kind of given up on. And he said, nah, I can be that guy. And he cooked, to be fair to him. It's just that he kind of burnt out. There were not really any replacements, bar like Endo and whatnot. And so the last 4 months did kind of drop off a little bit. But I think it's pretty close. Zubimendi's going to be 4th. There's not a lot really to go off there. When it was Sociedad, the one time that most people would have seen him was getting ragdolled by Casemiro of United in a Europa League. And then this season, from what we've had to go off so far, not been anything special compared to like these 3. So that one's pretty easy. Zubimendi will be last. We go to the centre mids. Again, more time for debating. I'm going to tell you my order, and then let's start the fireworks, if you will. I'm going to be going 1, Declan Rice, 2, McAllister, 3, Kovacic, and 4, Enzo Fernandez. I think the top 2 is like, again, one where you can definitely make arguments for either or. I believe Declan Rice's consistency, again, from week 1 to 38. I've said it, I don't know how many times, but like, the people who just say, oh, this guy scored 2 free kicks, now suddenly people think he's good, it completely baffles me, bro. It tells me that you don't watch the sport. Because just in the Madrid sort of conversation alone, the away leg at the Bernabeu, he was even better than the home leg, where he scored the 2 ridiculous free kicks. That, by the way, why are we even penalizing a man for scoring 2 free kicks, bro? Since when is that a thing? We are penalizing a guy for having a rocket of a corner kick as well that leads to I don't know how many goals that Arsenal have scored because of that. Defensively, again, which I guess you could say like it's his job, time and time again, last ditch tackles, recoveries, interceptions. Like, to me personally, the same with McAllister, to be fair. If you aren't rating these guys in 2025, slight concerns, slight concerns. Like, I wasn't always a McAllister fan. when he first arrived at Liverpool, I keep on saying, because he was playing in the 6, and I just thought he was terrible there. But since he's been like more of a box-to-box and trying to get forward and getting the odd banger every few months, big respect. So he's going to be second for me. Third and fourth, listen, coin flip, man, whichever one you want. I don't really rate either of them this last year. I'll go Kovacic third, and then Enzo Fernandez kind of fourth, because people are still gassing him up for, getting a random back post header like every now and then. But then you ignore the first 89 minutes where he's passing to advertising boards the whole time. He costs however much money. His whole thing is meant to be like, yeah, I'm an incredible passer, blah, 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 blah. And all they can bring me is inflated Conference League numbers. Again, I don't want to hear nothing about Conference League, please, bro. I don't respect that competition. Sorry. On to the 10s. Now then. I had difficulty here. I'll be honest. Like, I have my answers in advance. I quickly just scanned to think, do I have roughly what I'm thinking here? I've gone back and forth on this one. I am going to be going Florian Wirtz number 1. I feel like, again, if you're writing him off now already, it's a bit harsh. I'm not going to now just rub out whatever he did last year just because he's been terrible for the first few games of this season. And the thing is with Liverpool fans here, not Liverpool fans, this is all fans actually, so don't take it as a Liverpool dig or something. Every fan base, when you get a new signing, you try to gas it up. Because it's your shiny new tour, you got to pretend that everything is calm and it's fine. Let's be honest, it's not been fine. You are gassing up him being okay in the second half against Arsenal because he was okay compared to how bad he was. But if we're talking about the whole year, I'm sorry, man, Florian Wirtz is still the guy. And the one that comes closest to him, for me, again, this is where I had to chop and change, but I've gone with someone that I believe was Serie A MVP of the year. He was probably second behind McTominay in the actual thing. I still believe Tijani Reinders is like a better footballer than McTominay, and I think he had better performances, but he didn't win the league because Milan were absolutely stinky. So I've gone with him in second, and then Cole Palmer third. That one, again, it was very close. I'm going to rub out Real Betis Conference League, but in the Club World Cup, in the final, he showed up again against PSG, so that's really, really impressive from him. And obviously, Odegaard has to go fourth. On another day, in a different season, different conversations, but over the last season, I don't think he's even close to being like in this 3 here, if you will. So he's going to be, I guess, sold. No, not sold. Start, sub, sell, discard, whatever you want to call it. Rank in the top 4. You get the point. On to the front 3. Here we go then. To be honest, no. I was going to say it's in order already, but it's not. It's not. Mo Salah 1. I mean, we don't even have to spend a lot of time making the explanation or whatever. The guy just keeps breaking record upon record upon record upon record. The guy's like, what, 33 now, and he's still doing that? So, fair play. That hair transplant, I'm telling you, it saved his life. So you, man, if you're thinking about it, go and get that Turkey trip, because look at what he's done for Mo Salah. He's now downloaded the Trivela passing bag as well. So again, GG's to him. Saka's going to be second. I think that's pretty straightforward. Again, he had some crazy numbers prior to his injury, to be fair to him. He was looking to probably even touch that assist record himself until, obviously, what was it, December time? He got injured. So, yeah, he's going to be second. 3 and 4, I love these players both. I love both of these players. I think, the thing is, obviously, yeah, Bob wasn't really around, right? So, I can't use injury tax, but at the same time, Esteval last season, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to go Esteval 3, Oscar Bob 4. But again, I don't think it's because Bob's bad or he should be sold or whatever. I think Bob is class. It's just Esteval, I can't go against my son like that, So Esteval, big up your thing. He scored an overhead kick for half a yard yesterday for Brazil, or this morning rather. So big ups to him. On to the strikers. Now then. To be honest, I don't think it's that difficult, actually. I don't think it's that difficult. Number 1 is Haaland. Haaland's thing is, yeah, he was quite meaty for his standards last season. But then you look at the numbers, and Haaland's level of meaty is many strikers' best ever, bro. Many people would give anything to have Haaland's meaty season. So he's still going to be number 1. He's still, the most feared striker in the Premier League. In my opinion, again, you might think differently. You might think it's the guy who I have second, which is Alexander Isak, obviously now of Liverpool. A great season from him. Back-to-back 20 goals. Obviously won the Carabao Cup. I'm not going to say single-handedly, because Newcastle as a unit were phenomenal against Liverpool, and even when they packed in Arsenal in the semi-finals, it was Isak and the midfielders going crazy, so fair play. Look, there could be a conversation where Isak, starts to rise this season and he gets a crazy amount of goals. I said it in my TikTok the other day, right? For me, to have Isak like over Haaland, I want to be seeing Gunnar Nordahl levels from like 1951 for those of us who remember. Because then times there, he was playing like 37 games, 35 goals. 36 games, 33 goals. I want to see that level of return for Isak to be like, ooh, okay, do you know what? Fair. Maybe as a footballer, ability-wise, we know like you're technically gifted more than Haaland. But as a striker, it's still Haaland. And speaking of technically gifted, or rather the opposite, we have Gyökeres in third. I think over the last year, as I told you guys, Club World Cup made me realise that whatever goals you score in Liga NOS, divide it by 3. Because the Portuguese team in Club World Cup, they disgraced everybody, bro. I was loving the Brazilian teams. Remember all these Sundowns were a joy to watch. The Portuguese teams and the Argentinian teams, actually, they should have not even bothered coming, bro. Disgrace themselves. So his 54 goals or whatever has been thirded. Is that even a word? It has been, I was going to say, you know what I mean anyway, man. So he's on like 18 goals now, which, to be fair to him, is still more than, I guess, João Pedro. Someone that I really like. I'm excited to see him this season. He's off to a flyer so far, but obviously, Brighton, he wasn't like setting the world alight or putting up crazy numbers, So after last year, I think it's fair for now to say Haaland, Isak, Gyökeres, and then João Pedro. But again, look, we could do this again in a year's time and all has flipped. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. And the final position, we got left wingers, kind of, I guess. We got Gakpo, we got Eze, who's played like on the left of Palace's, 3 up top. You got Marmoush, who's kind of played on the left as well. And then Pedro Neto. This one, I might surprise you here. I'm going to go Marmoush 1. I think it's between Marmoush and Gakpo. But Marmoush, you know what it is? It's the Bundesliga part. That's crazy. Now, I'm not saying, you know me, I'm not a super Bundesliga fan. However, the goals he was scoring and the rate at which he was scoring, you have to respect it. He did not go crazy at City. He still gave us, I guess, goal of the season, to be fair. That banger from like 30 yards. So, fair play to him. I just think, but like, Marmoush's ball striking and Gakpo's ball striking are both, to be fair, very scary when they cut in. But I think I just about go Marmoush. I don't know if you guys think that's unfair to Gakpo. I'm fine if you want to put Gakpo first, but I'm going to put Marmoush just about first, Gakpo second. I'm going to go Eze third. I mentioned Isak doing the whole single-handed thing. Eze's one was probably even more close to being a single-handed, trophy or couple of trophies win than Isak's one, because the cup final goal, obviously against Man City, balled out in the Community Shield as well. I think it was a great season for him. He's got his well-deserved move to Arsenal. He's buzzing, singing like the Let It All Work Out and whatnot. Will he be a left winger this season? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But for now, I'll go in third, because Pedro Neto, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this guy absolutely reeked until Club World Cup. Suddenly, Club World Cup, when they're facing like Esperance Tunis or whatever. No, he didn't play against LA, did he? Who would have I'm hearing the ice cream van. It's Robert Sanchez with his brain freeze outside. Apologies. This is what happens when I'm recording live, We don't have to chop and edit. This is just all one take. We yap and then tell my man move out the way. But yes, Pedro Neto in fourth. I think he's a Crash Bandicoot merchant. Head down, run, and just whip it in. So he's going to be fourth. And then, do I give you managers as well? Nah, I'll save managers for another day. Maybe we'll rank the Prem managers another time. So that's my list for now, I suppose. To count the numbers for you, I've already counted it beforehand. Obviously, a maximum of 44 points if you get 4 in all 11 positions. Liverpool are top with 36 out of 44 points. Arsenal second with 29 points. City with 27 are in third. And Chelsea with 18 are in fourth. So to be fair, it does kind of end up as how the table was last season. So I think I've done an alright job there. As always though, I'm open for debates. You can change my mind. You can have a nice conversation. Leave your comments what you change. Let me know what videos you want, because international break, we're going to be starving, bro. You might start seeing all-time Animal 11 long-form video, because we ain't got nothing to talk about, bro. But anyway, have a great weekend. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bosh.